Willkommen zurück zur Chicken Police. In der letzten Folge, hat sich Sunny von vielen Leuten verabschiedet, weil wir gehen jetzt zum Wessler. Und zwar nicht zu ihm, weil wie es ausschaut, ist ihm höchstwahrscheinlich tot, sondern wir gehen zu Albert, der seinen Bruder umgebracht hat. Und ich weiß nicht, ob Natasha gefangen ist oder so. Ja, mal schauen. Aber als erstes tun wir noch Mullen befragen, der hat ein paar Sachen noch zu sagen.
Does the name Albert mean anything to you?
I know multiple Alberts, Sonny. Which one do you mean?
Albert Wessler.
I see you're in a funny mood, Sonny boy.
I'm not joking, Mullen, but I'm surprised there's something I know and you don't.
And who is this Albert anyway?
Nein, das ist sein
Ibn
Zwillingsbruder
Wessler's
und er hat
son,
ihn gekillt.
Even better, my friend. His secret twin brother.
maybe? Oh, you've walked into trouble there.
Ja.
I was hoping you could tell me something useful about him.
I can, Sonny boy. Avoid him. Avoid the whole Wessler family. Those who happen upon secrets that deep sink without a trace.
Well, I used to be a professional swimmer. Didn't you know?
No, I didn't.
I lied. What do you
Nervenheilanstalt.
know about that asylum? What's it called?
Keine
Since
Ahnung.
there's only one of those around Clawville, I know which one you mean, Sonny. It's an ancient mansion, easily around 100 years old for sure. Or more. Well, what do you want to know about it anyway?
Einfach überquatschen.
We actually just got out of there.
That explains everything.
Haha, Mullen.
Seriously, what do you know about it?
The place is self-sufficient in theory, but in reality, the Crown maintains it. No one knows the exact reason why, but according to gossip, they used to keep someone in there. Someone who was either part of the royal family or just very close to the fire. But who knows? Maybe it's just a legend.
Well, they say we're legends too, and we're standing right in front of you. Am I right?
What can I say then? This whole city is full of legends.
Was ich mich nur frage, ich habe ja dieses eine Video gesehen, wo die Schlange dem Ibn höchstwahrscheinlich den Kopf abgebissen hat. Ist die Schlange nicht böse? Ich dachte, er wäre vielleicht böse. Maybe.
This Albert, he had to paint a picture of Natasha at his brother's request.
Let me guess. He fell in love with her.
Ja, und zwar total.
Classic, huh? Then he killed his brother and took his place.
Toll, erzähl's ihm, dann wird Mullen auch noch
Yeah, well,
gekillt.
that's a classic too. So, you're telling me who goes by Ibn Wessler is not really Ibn Wessler?
Ja,
Exactly. He's Albert, a dangerous lunatic with multiple personality disorder.
Ha ha, lads, I guess that Miss Marble's going to write another one of those novels about this.
You mean Meredith? Oh, that's just what we need.
Once you sold your soul, it's too late to cry about it, sonny boy.
und die
what I keep
Giraffe
telling
muss
him.
mit ins Buch. Ah, die
You know
Schlange.
Dr. Quetzal?
Do you mean Professor Quetzalcoatlus? Yeah, now you laugh at this, but we went to university together.
You did what?
Do I not look the type to you?
No, well, I didn't mean that. I
Sunny
just,
sagt
didn't
nichts.
know you went to university.
I studied psychology, Sonny, only I forgot to graduate. That's when my father died.
Oh, das
So
tut mir
that's
leid.
why you know the animals so well.
No, I know them well because I have a newspaper stand and I talk to hundreds of animals each day. And I listen to the everyday problems of almost all of them. There's no better lesson in animal studies.
You surprise me every time, old beaver.
You're afraid he screwed you? He looks like a terribly dishonest snake, but don't let your prejudices overshadow what your wattle tells you. Quetzal's one of the kindest-hearted and most honest animals I've ever known.
Oh Mann, ich habe ihn
That's
falsch
good to know, Uncle Mullen.
verurteilt.
Or rather, Professor Mullen.
Er hat nicht
Hey,
abgeschlossen.
hey, don't get cocky with me, little chickie.
Wessler
What do you
Resident.
know about the Wessler Mansion, Uncle Mullen?
That if you're about to go there, bring a tank with you. Or two.
Okay,
Dangerous,
können wir
you
machen.
mean?
Dangerous? It's a fortress, so it is. Giant walls, watchtowers, and of course, Wessler's hired pugs.
Aber vielleicht lässt er uns
are waiting
einfach
for you there.
rein zum Quatschen.
Yeah, sounds great.
Marty
It's a
aus.
beautiful place, I must admit. At least you'll kick the bucket with mouths hanging open in wonder.
That's something.
Good attitude, my lad. Keep it.
I just realized. Ibn at the Tsar Club.
Yes, Marty. Albert's been Ibn for a long time now. Do you remember what Natasha said about him?
Nein.
That he's been acting strange recently?
Exactly. Like he's not himself anymore.
It was almost hitting us in the face, huh?
Don't blame yourself, Marty. We couldn't have figured that out just by ourselves. The whole story's too twisted for that.
Oh Mann. Die ganze Zeit war's Albert.
Well, it's how we make our living, Sonny. And I'm sure we'll have plenty more twisted cases to come.
Nee, ich glaube, Sunny hört dann auf.
Who knows, Marty? It's not up to us. It's mostly not up to us, in fact.
Yeah, right. Do you think the asylum was in on it? I mean, covering up Albert's disappearance?
You know that reptiles give me the creeps. One of them even set fire to that ship. But oddly enough, the doctor seemed honest to me.
He seemed like a patient to me. Seriously, I thought everyone was crazy in that place.
Yeah. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process, he doesn't become
Was?
a
Die
monster.
Giraffe, die war doch voll
Are
süß.
you still talking about the doctor?
Good question.
Alberts Brief.
So, what's the plan? We shove the letter and our theory in his face and see what happens?
Something like that, Marty. I think our presence will be enough for the truth to come out.
I really hope you're right, Boss Bird.
We have no other choice. So I hope so too.
Do you think it's a love triangle? I mean, could Natasha love Albert as well?
Good question, Marty. But I don't think so. When I first spoke to Natasha, she told me she loved Ibn in her own way.
In her own way, huh? And could she love two rats in her own way?
Maybe. Maybe she even suspected the truth, but didn't dare admit it, even to herself.
So, what do you think now that it's clearer?
I don't know, Marty, but I believe Natasha didn't mean to be bad. Not intentionally, at least.
I'm not as sure of that as you are, boss. But we'll find that out
Ja.
pretty soon, I guess.
Es geht los. Jetzt können
I
wir
think
zu
Natasha
Menschen.
was very much aware that wherever she goes, disaster follows her. But it's not her fault, and she can't do anything about it. There are people like that.
Really? You don't say. Someone remarkably similar came to mind right now.
You mean me, right?
Who can even read minds?
Maybe you're right, Marty. Maybe you're right.
Dann lass uns losgehen. Ich will jetzt endlich das rausfinden.
The sun was shining, and all the ducks were in a row. I felt ready. The pieces of the grand puzzle were laid out on the table. I just needed to piece them all together. A revealing glance or a careless word, and I'd have the answer. I knew we were in the right place. I knew it was nearly over. Was Natasha really just a victim? Or did she know everything? Was she controlling the puppets from behind the curtain? Well, if you don't know where to go, go straight ahead. What could possibly go wrong? Here I am, Natasha. I hope you're waiting for me.
Furry gods. I knew he was rich. but
Nice building.
Wow.
Half the city is in his hands, Marty, and half the Council of 12.
Wow. Der Typ
I
ist
think we'll
reich.
catch a big fish today.
Don't count your chickens. I'm sure Wessler's expecting us, and Natasha too, I hope.
You hope?
If I'm right, she could be our only chance of survival.
Lovely prospects, huh?
I've had worse.
Really?
Schau mal, hier ist auch überall grün. Farbe. What the hell?
Quite the steed, isn't it?
Seems nowadays organized crime pays well in Clawville.
Are you surprised? The chicken police retired.
Well, they say the team's back together again.
Nah, that's impossible.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Okay, was kann ich noch anschauen? Den Turm.
What the hell is it? Water tower? Turret? A frickin' lighthouse?
Keine
I
Ahnung.
think it's a monument to an enormous ego, Marty.
Well, anyone who builds a tower this big must be trying to compensate for
Das wollte
something.
ich auch sagen.
Or he just has too much dough.
Nein, er kompensiert etwas.
Huh, one of Wessler's ancestors, maybe.
Wessler's ancestors were poor cobblers. More likely, this represents what he
Wow.
thinks of himself.
I wonder how chivalry is compatible with organized crime.
Ibn was planning to leave the underworld.
When his twin brother tore out his tongue, poked out his eye, killed him, and took his place?
Ja.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
Gewächshaus.
this place has its own greenhouse. What do you think's inside?
100% humidity and unbearable heat.
Ja, ich mag auch solche Gewächshäuser nicht.
Not like that. Could they be growing rarities in there?
Maybe.
Or maybe some chicken-eating giant flower monster.
What? Oh, you just made that up.
Marty.
Nah, I'm sure there's
Der
no
macht
such
nur
thing.
Witze. Glaube ich.
Is this a mansion?
Or a small city.
Well, if it comes to hide and seek, old Wessler will have an advantage.
Ich hoffe, wir finden ihn
A
gleich.
serious advantage.
Okay, rein.
Hey, not so fast, chickens.
Na, ihr zwei, wie konntest du mich so
Please
betrügen?
excuse my partner. He didn't mean to be rude, it's just his terrible habits, as you may already know.
Oh, hey.
Ah, look what the cat dragged in.
Funny, I don't recognize them.
Well, maybe if they had some guns with them? Tommy guns?
Was? Ich weiß nicht, wovon er redet.
Oh yeah, now I remember. The two suckers in the luxury van you shot to pieces. Twice.
Exactly.
What are you doing here, chickens? Would you like us to finish what we started?
We'd love to have fun with you boys, but we need to talk to your boss. And while we're at it, the lady of the house is also expecting us.
Is that so?
Ja, ist sie.
Yeah, that's so horny.
In that case, I guess there's no reason for us to waste your precious time. Isn't that right, Gabriel?
Get the hell out of our sights while there are still feathers on your skin, chickens.
Easy, pal. We're not even here anymore. Until next time, boys.
Die könnten uns jetzt einfach abschießen. Na gut, ich glaube, mit dem kann man nicht viel
This must
reden.
lead to Wessler and Natasha's
Das
suite.
Gebäude ist riesig. Ach, da ist die Rabenfrau.
Let's get the big guns out and kick the door down.
No need for that, Marty. We'll wait until they invite us in, like real gentlemen. Then maybe we'll need the guns.
Oh, my trigger finger's itching, Sonny. Someone's gotta pay.
Relax, Marty. Someone is gonna pay.
Yeah, just don't let it be us.
Miep, ist das riesig.
It's like the vegetation's trying to suffocate these beautiful walls.
Maybe it will. Maybe in 100 years, nothing will be here but plants. An endless, planet-sized jungle.
That's quite a dark thought.
Yeah, it is.
Ist aber ein schöner Gedanke.
This place
Architektur.
is incredible, but it kinda gives me the creeps.
Because you know what lies behind the beauty.
With Natasha, too?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay, dann reden wir mal mit Olivia.
What a pleasant surprise.
Sie mag
Hello,
dich immer noch nicht,
Olivia.
Marty.
Get lost.
What did you say, ma'am?
Turn around and get the hell out of here now, if you want to make it out with feathers intact.
Come on, Olivia. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing.
Martin,
Huh?
don't you get it? You have to get out of here or you'll be in danger, and also her.
Do you mean Natasha? Please calm down, miss. We have to talk to Mr. Wessler and Miss Katzenko.
You really don't understand, do you?
Oh Gott.
What do they not understand, Olivia? So, what is it exactly
Du warst die
that our
ganze
guests
Zeit
don't
hier.
understand?
I was trying to tell the detectives that Mr. Wessler's very tired and doesn't welcome guests this early. He gets rather irate if he's being disturbed at this hour.
Die wollte wahrscheinlich das mit Albert sagen.
I'm sure Mr. Featherland and Mr. McChicken can wait here while Ibn refreshes himself. I'll entertain them until then.
Thank you, Miss, Katzenko.
Please, Sonny. I thought we've already discussed this. Call me Natasha.
Please, Natasha, can we talk to you in private?
Martin?
It's all right, Olivia. These gentlemen are my friends.
Yes, Miss Katzenko.
Okay, Natascha war wirklich die ganze Zeit hier.
Ibn isn't really in a good shape today, gentlemen. He's rather furious. Are you sure this can't wait?
Es ist nicht ihm, es ist
You
Albert.
commissioned us, Natasha, and we barely escaped with our combs intact.
So you know who left the threats?
Oh, we know much more than that, Natasha. We even know where you used to work. We talked to Madame Zavas.
Wild gods.
Why didn't you tell us?
Do you think it's easy for a woman to talk about such things that she used
Ja, das
to
ist
be
schon ein schweres
an
Thema.
escort?
Weil Leute verurteilen Leute schnell dadurch.
Along with Molly?
So you know.
Yeah, I know, Natasha. I also know all of this was a trap.
Believe me, I tried to handle things the least painfully I could. You weren't even supposed to know.
A lot shouldn't have happened. Poor Deborah shouldn't have had to die.
Dear sweet Deborah,
Cold, stiff Deborah.
please don't say that.
A price worth paying?
You cannot think I had anything to do with that. You just cannot.
I don't know, Natasha.
Please, Sonny, tell me, what is going on?
You have to know, right?
Please.
Excuse me for making you wait, detectives. I'm having a rough morning after a long night.
Der schaut irgendwie ein bisschen komisch aus.
Is that so? Our night was also kinda long.
Das stimmt.
To put it mildly.
I was just telling the gentleman that you were exhausted, my dear, and they should come back another time.
Oh, honey, no need for that. My door's always open to the legendary chicken police. Please, come on in, guys. Let's talk in my room.
Then this way, please.
You just stay here, my darling. I'm sure our conversation will bore you to death. Please, go and refresh yourself or tell Olivia to go make some coffee.
Yes, dear. Whatever you like.
Please, follow me, gents.
Lead on, Wessler. So long, sweetheart.
Goodbye.
Oh mein Gott.
Would you like a drink? This is a rather rare brandy. It lifts the spirits, if I may be so, poetic.
Really? Tempting, but I need to keep a clear head, Mr. Wessler.
Yeah, I've heard you don't despise a good vintage.
And I've heard you don't despise murder, Wessler. By the way, you've heard right. But everything has its place and time. Drinks,
Wir haben doch
guns,
auch diesen Whisky
dead bodies,
geklaut aus der
and
Bar.
the truth.
Yeah, I see you're in a poetic mood as well.
More like prophetic.
And that's not a good sign.
Yeah, are you trying to intimidate me?
Ja.
No, that's not how we do business. We're gentlemen.
I really hope so.
Do you keep a revolver in your bedroom?
Yeah, a bad habit. One who has a lot to lose has a lot to fear.
I agree.
Der ist aber gerade ziemlich relaxed, finde ich.
This painting.
It's beautiful and rather provocative. Almost makes my comb stand
Und
up.
da fehlt die
I'm not
Ecke.
surprised.
but the corner is missing.
You're right, Sonny. You're quite the observer.
Well, yeah, this painting's unfortunately damaged. I don't know where the missing piece could be.
You don't know? Well, if you're interested, we know exactly where it is.
Really?
Really. It's here with us.
An insignificant little piece, isn't it? But there's an exciting cat scratch on it.
More like a rat scratch, because it's a monogram.
A.W.
That's...
Albert Wessler. He's a great painter. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Enough. Out with it already. What are you trying to say? I have no time for your childish charades.
Easy, Wessler. We'll get to that in a bit.
Ah, wir haben es gefunden, das Gemälde. Wow, hat dann lange gedauert.
Impressive bed. Looks cozy.
Sure is better than a cell.
That's right, Marty.
I'm not sure I understand, gentlemen.
We'll see about that.
Okay, oh, das ist so viel zum Anschauen. Ich hoffe, es ist nur noch das
This
Fenster.
estate is rather impressive, Mr.
Es ist
Wessler.
wirklich
Well,
unglaublich.
thank you.
I suppose it took years and years of cumbersome work to build it.
Yeah. As you say, Mr. Featherland, I'm rather proud of it.
You should be. Whoever built this place has a reason to be proud of himself.
Are you trying to say something?
No, just thinking aloud.
Okay, jetzt rede ich mit dir. Du bist nicht
So,
Iben.
what do you want to know? I've heard you've been through a rather eventful few days.
Oh, you have rather good informants.
Yeah, that's true. I should tell you, I see and hear
Ja, der
everything
wollte
that
mich
happens in the city.
manchmal umbringen.
And you,
Zweimal erschießen,
you
einmal in
are
Feuerboot.
exceptionally resilient. No offense.
Ja, nein, ist nicht schlimm. Wir verstehen's.
None taken. But tell me, are we going to flatter each other for a long time, or are we finally done with the courting?
Straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, so let's continue like that, shall we?
Es ist nicht dein Zuhause, das von deinem Bruder, den du gekillt
Forgive
hast.
us. Our moral compass has been confused a little bit after someone tried to kill us several times in the
Ich glaube,
last
es war nur
48
Feuer und
hours.
Maschinenpistole.
With
Mehr war
fire,
gar nicht.
With machine guns. I could go on.
And while we're at it, you could answer some of our questions. If you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
And then we'll
Genau.
just leave you alone.
All right. I'll go along with your childish little game. I would have had a long and tedious day ahead of me anyway. So, can we start?
With pleasure, Mr. Wessler.
Oh. Ah, jetzt kann ich ihn befragen. So, wir haben jetzt die ganze Zeit nach Natasha gesucht und er war die ganze Zeit hier.
I have no
Sie war
idea
hier.
what she sees in you, but Natasha's been seriously worried about you.
Yeah, she, really worries more than usual, but it's understandable. Those disgusting messages.
Ich glaube, die Botschaften hat sie selbst gemacht.
Disgusting, all right. Do you know why that word exactly? Why did...
Since you've been to the Nile, I guess you know the answer to your question.
Didn't it bother you, Wessler? What Natasha used to do? Surely it must have upset you.
Why? Did it upset you when you discovered your wife did the same thing?
What did you just say?
What did you think, chicken? That I didn't know? Yeah, don't make me laugh. I know about everyone who ever set foot in that place. I can even tell you who Molly's regulars were, if you're interested.
You son of a bitch.
Sonny, don't.
Yes, detective?
Not yet.
You're right, Marty. It's not worth it.
You're funny, you know that?
Da, also Molly, seine Ex-Frau, ist echt der Schwachpunkt von Sunny.
About the painting.
Yeah. My brother Albert made it. He's a great talent, but, still, he's a rather
Er
troubled
redet frei
individual.
raus von seinem Bruder.
Such self-criticism.
What did you say?
My partner means that you and your brother are very much alike. Identical twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. But, what does that have to do with the painting?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mr. Wessler. So Albert made the painting at your request. Is that right? And the one that's in Natasha's room in the Tsar, too.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a crime?
Nö.
No, it's not a crime in itself.
Foto von der Wesslers.
This picture, it's rather strange, you know?
Das ist das mit Natasha.
Why do you think so? It's just me, Natasha, and my brother.
The photo doesn't tell much in itself, yes. But if you already have the right information, suddenly it starts to talk.
Really?
He fell in love with her, didn't he?
Who do you mean?
Albert, of course. He fell in love with Natasha. All those sessions while he was painting the pictures. Were you there every time?
You mean, me?
You.
No, I mean, while Albert was painting, yeah, but I wasn't there all the time. Albert was there, all along.
And do you think he could have fallen in love with Natasha? That's why he escaped? What do you think happened to him? Who tore out his tongue?
Eh, I have no idea.
Did Natasha know about what happened to your brother?
No, of course not.
Do you love beautiful things, Wessler?
Why do you ask that?
Er ist ein bisschen nervös, habe ich das Gefühl.
You were afraid of losing her, weren't you? To him.
Stop. Enough. If you want to ask something, ask clearly. Don't play with me.
Darf ich
You
dich jetzt
understand?
befragen?
We're just doing our job.
Then do it clearly. And quickly. Yeah, I'm really starting to lose my patience.
Okay, dann fragen wir dich aus. Du wirst sowieso alles ausblabbern. Der Brief.
We visited Albert's cell and found something he seems to have forgotten to take with him in his great hurry.
That's a big mistake.
A classic, even.
What the hell are you babbling about?
This is Albert Wessler's love letter to Natasha,
More like a confession.
in which he tells her he's capable of doing anything for her, even the most horrible thing.
Zum Beispiel den eigenen Bruder verstümmeln und danach umbringen.
Yeah, this letter doesn't prove anything at all. Albert is mad. Insane. He's not normal. No one would believe his word, don't you understand?
But they believe yours, right? Because you're not Albert Wessler. You're Hobart Ibn Wessler, aren't you? How good it feels to be in his skin.
How dare you?
Just tell him, Sonny. I'm getting tired of this.
You're just a cheap fake, Albert. You couldn't follow in your brother's footsteps even if you wanted to. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get Natasha either. Am I right?
What? What did you just say?
She hates you, doesn't she? She doesn't know. She doesn't understand why. But she hates you. It's instinctive.
Yeah, what do you know? What could you possibly know about suffering and loneliness and the darkness?
Wir haben ihn.
What could you
Erzählt
know
es.
about hate?
Ich hoffe, Natascha ist vor der Tür und lauscht. So, jetzt wirst du ausgefragt, du Ratte.